What's up, guys? This is Chef JT, and I'm back again for another cooking segment. This time I want to do a fried rice. Fried rice is one of those things that you always get at your local Asian takeout, and I want to demystify it and show you guys how to do it at home using the ingredients that you already have in your refrigerator or in your pantry. Okay? So let's get started. First of all, you can use any vegetable that you want to use in your fried rice. Just because your favorite Asian restaurant uses certain vegetables, you don't have to go with that. You can use whatever vegetables that you want, and you can do it as creatively as you want because it's your fried rice. All right. So in my refrigerator, this is what I found. So this is what I'm going to use. All right. So let's go with the ingredients. I have some asparagus here. I have some broccoli, I have some celery, I have some carrots, and I have a mix of minced ginger and garlic. And these is what I'm going to use to make this fried rice. All right? So let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is work on the carrot. Now, we're working on the carrot first because of all these ingredients, the carrot takes the longest to cook. So we're starting with that first. So I want to get this ready, chop it up, and get it going so that as we're doing this recipe, the carrots can be cooking. So with most carrots, guys, you want to get a lot of it. So I'm just going to use this much of it. All right. Now, in order to cut this carrot and to get a small dice, which is the same type of dice that you get in most fried rices, I have to have a flat surface. All right? Just like that. Now, what I'm going to do is start from the top and go straight down. Straight down, straight down, straight down. All right? I won't need the rest of it, so I'll put that there. And I'm taking these blocks of carrot that I just cut, and I'm going to stack them up together and make smaller cuts. These are called what they call batons of carrot, okay? Or bâtonnets, as they call it in fancy chef terms. All right, so I'm gonna take them all together and I'm going to make small dices. Now these dices don't have to be perfect. I'm not trying to do it perfect. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to do it as imperfectly as possible. So you can just see, as long as they're chopped up small, relatively the same size, that's all you need to do, okay? Now I'm gonna turn my heat on. And the thing about fried rice that is most important is that you have to get your heat very, very hot. And so there's not many things that can duplicate an actual wok over the jet engine flame that usually comes, from the woks, from what the cooking source of the wok is. But we can let our wok get as hot as we can get on our regular burner, and we can just go with that. All right. So as we let it get hot, as you start to smell your wok getting hot, that's when you know it's time. So it doesn't take long because this heat is high. Put a little oil in, and in goes our carrots. Now, I put the carrots in because, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to take the longest to cook. All right? Now, there's really no need for salt and pepper at this point. We're just going to let them cook as we get everything else ready. All right? Now, the second thing that I'm going to get ready is the broccoli. Now, I've cleaned this broccoli, and that's all I really need to do. Now, what I'm going to do with this broccoli is that I want to keep my broccoli kind of whole and have it look very, very natural. I'm going to cut into a little bit smaller pieces, but I'm going to have it looking natural. You can keep all of these broccoli greens and things that you see because it just makes the fried rice look better and it looks like it's actually cooked and homemade And that's what we love. All right. Here, here, and here. All right. Now these chunks are a little bit big, but that's perfectly fine. That's exactly what I want. All right. I'm gonna do all of this because I like my fried rice vegetable or ingredient heavy. Because, you know, right now I'm not eating a lot of meat, so these vegetables are gonna go a long way with satisfying my hunger for this fried rice. All right. Clean out the excess. Now always, guys, when you guys are cooking, have some type of utensils available with, or some type of bowl so that you can scrape up all of the trash and dump it in a little bowl or something like that where you can discard later. All right. Now, come a little closer, you're gonna see that our carrots are starting to cook. Now, I want my carrots to kind of sear and caramelize, and that's what I want because it's gonna help them to cook a little bit faster, but it's also increasing the sugar as it caramelizes, so it's getting a little bit sweeter. All right. Second thing I'm gonna do, celery. Celery is a unknown hero. Is a hero that is underrated. It's unknown because most people don't use it for a lot of things. People put it on peanut butter and different things like that, and people may, you know, it's usually found on the side for your 10-piece hot wings, you know. But me, I like to use carrot and celery and broccoli and any type of vegetable that I can get my hands on, including the stems, because this is a lot of flavor for my fried rice. All right. Now I'm keeping these pieces a little bit big because, like I said, once I cook them down, I want them to be substantial in the dish. Okay. Another thing too, always keep these. These are what they call the fronds or the leaves from the celery. They just have so much flavor, and you shouldn't get rid of them. And if you ever get a chance, guys, if you like celery, put them in your salad. It works out perfect. And they have all the flavor from the celery. It's good to make salad dressings with them, stir fries with them, all of that. All right? Now, the last thing I'm going to get ready is my asparagus. Now, the thing with asparagus that you have to remember is that you can't use the whole part of the asparagus. You have to, be careful because some of this is not edible. The part that's closer toward the end is very, a lot of fibers in there, and it's very stringy. So naturally, where you're supposed to take a piece of asparagus and you naturally break it, it is at that point to where your asparagus is as ripe as far as what you can eat. So what I do is I take all the rest of them and line them all up, cut the rest, now I can get rid of the rest of that. Then now I'm taking them like this and just chop them up just a little bit for that. All right, that's that. Now, as you see, come a little closer. I told you I like to caramelize mine a little bit, and that's the way I like mine going into the fried rice. So for this point now, I add my broccoli. Need a little bit of oil. And my celery. And my asparagus, because at this point, it's going to go fast from here. There it goes in. Now, I mentioned my mince of fresh garlic and ginger because I didn't start it from the beginning. Some people start it at the beginning. For me, I like to save mine towards the middle because I really want the flavor from this garlic and ginger to really come through. So I put a lot, about a tablespoon of total of that. Again, sauteing together. Now in your fried rice, you can put chicken, you can put steak, you can put seafood, you can put eggs, different things like that. But this is the first thing I saw, and this is what I really want to go with. but you can make your fried rice out of anything. You can do a vegan fried rice. You can do a seafood fried rice. You can do a Spanish style fried rice. Any type of fried rice that you want to do, you can do it, and because it's your palate. You do with it what you want. I want to make sure that you guys know that a recipe is only a guideline. What I'm teaching you is technique, and technique means everything. All right? If I show you how to do one recipe, you can only do that recipe. But if I show you the techniques of how to do a recipe, then you can make 1,000 different recipes using the same technique. All right? So always remember that. Now, this is rice that I cooked off a couple of days ago. I put it in the refrigerator and I let it dry out. It dried out for a whole day with nothing on it, nothing to cover it, because older fried rice that dries out makes better rice, better fried rice. Fresh rice doesn't make the best fried rice because the starches haven't settled yet, and so it tends to make your fried rice very, very mushy. So day old rice, if you got some rice left over from your plain white rice with your sesame chicken, you can use it. All right. Now, I didn't mention this before, but what this is a mix of some soy sauce I had, a tablespoon of oyster sauce, and I mixed it together, and I had it right here. Now, what's going to happen is I'm kind of going to make a well. All right. I'm going to put my sauce right in there. Now that sauce is going to come to a boil pretty quick because I want it to start to caramelize and thicken slightly before I stir it around. And most of the times as you cook fried rice, as you saute the rice and mix the rice with the sauce, it tends to take that dark color. And the more that you cook it and allow that sauce to thicken and caramelize and reduce slightly bit, it makes all the flavor come out in your fried rice. So as you see, I haven't touched it yet. So I'm gonna leave it for a few more seconds. Smelling excellent, guys. As you see, it's starting to boil. My bubbles are big, and now they're starting to get a little bit smaller. It's reducing, and that's what I want. So as it starts to do that, you go ahead and start stirring it in. Now, you may think for this amount of rice, that's not a lot of sauce, but the reality is that even in a reduced state, the sauce goes a long way in your rice. And like I said, I use, because soy sauce is very salty, I tend to use a low sodium soy sauce. And that is because I want to be able to control the amount of sodium that's in my fried rice. Because that's what it's all about. Your palate, your taste buds. Now, as you can see right now, it's starting to fry. A lot of the liquid that was in the bottom of the pan that I put in here is already mixed in with the rice, and so my rice is starting to fry. So I want to kind of spread it out along the bottom of the pan and just let it cook for a couple of seconds. That way you'll really get that wok Asian restaurant type of feel to your fried rice. I can smell the garlic, I can smell the ginger is coming through, and that's what I want. I didn't put it first because as sometimes when you put your garlic and your ginger first, it tends to get lost in the other ingredients as it cooks and caramelizes. So I wanted that flavor to really come through. Now, as you see, my rice is not sticking together. It's almost separate because with the amount of oil and the amount of sauce, and because of us reducing the sauce before we mix it in, it helps to coat each individual grain of rice. Yeah, that's looking great. Now, as you see with the big pieces of broccoli and celery, it looks like it was made homemade. And that's the type of feel I like to have with my fried rice. It's almost there, guys. Now, once again, don't be scared to cook with your heat on high, because this is a dish that is better cooked with high heat. You just can't leave it. So you have to kind of stay and babysit it. But as you can see, I'm right here. I'm under total control. And you don't have to be nervous or scared because nothing is burning, as you see. Now, I would give you guys a couple of pieces of advice as far as the woks. Tend to find a wok that is non-stick. And if you have a non-stick wok, in order to keep it as a non-stick wok, don't use anything like a spoon and you're making sounds like this on your wok because you're scratching your wok. Use something like a spatula. It's easy, and it'll help you to keep your wok's life very, very long. And as long as you don't scratch it up and you take care of your wok, the wok will take care of you. So simple. All right, guys, about 20 more seconds. That fried rice is ready to go. Now, as you see, I haven't put any more oil in the pan because, like I told you, when the oil mixed with the vegetables and mixed with the rice with the reduced sauce that I put in here, it helps to, you know, make it non-stick. And it helps to coat the rice very, very well. Now, the only reason why I'm cooking so long is because I'm trying to mimic the type of cooking that it'll take on a wok. Because the wok is so hot, you have to cook it a little bit longer. That's just what we got to do at home. So, it's popping. It's exactly where I want it to be. My last finishing touch is going to be a little sesame oil. Now, some people put sesame oil at the beginning. Me, I put my sesame oil at the end because, once again, I want certain flavors to pop in the dish. And things like garlic and ginger or sesame oil or basil or fresh herbs, those are what I call flavor detonators. They have a tendency to, if you put them in a dish, to just make the dish so much better, and it makes the dish pop because you can taste everything. All right, now the fried rice is about there. I turn my heat off, drizzle a little bit of my sesame oil on top. Not much, but enough. Just a little bit. Now, that is one thing that when you use it at your own discretion. You know, I can tell you a tablespoon or a teaspoon, but maybe you might like more or less of sesame oil. So depending on what your palate is. Me, I just like a little drizzle on top because I like the taste of coming through. And my last little thing that I'll add is some sesame seeds. And that's it, guys. Really easy, really delicious, homemade, fun. Kids love it. If you have some steak, you can pop it in there. If you have some seafood, you can pop it in there. Even some crawfish. Crawfish should be delicious in your fried rice. But you know, usually you don't see crawfish in fried rice. You see things like shrimp or chicken or beef. But you can put whatever you want. And so that's it. Fried rice, the Fat Boy style. The Fat Boy himself is doing it once again. And it's easy, guys. And you can use whatever you have in your kitchen. There's no limits as long as you learn the techniques. So until next time, I'll see you guys. Oh, and by the way, if you like what you saw, please subscribe to my channel and click that like button. Until next time, I'll see you then.